Hi guys, it's Mary. It's Saturday night and it is time to have us a little video here on Stamps-N-Lingers. I am glad that you're with me. Those of you who are, let me refresh off the side here to see that I am actually transmitilating on the correct place. Hopefully I am. I see live on the screen. And we'll see what we're getting here. Let me unpin this post because that's old news. All right, let's see what we got going here. Hi, Amy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Marianne. Glad you could join me. I appreciate you. All right, it looks like we're in, and I'm even on landscape mode, so yay me. Hi, Rosie. How are you doing? Hey, Tish, Barbara. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Hi, Pam. I'm going to get a drink right quick because apparently I'm dry. Karen, I appreciate you joining. You've got to be about exhausted from all that baking. I am in awe, my friend. I am absolutely in awe. Hey, Carol. Hi, Donna from Saskatchewan. Hello, Mary. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Alrighty then, let us go ahead and get started. Hey, Karen. I made one batch of brownies, which was actually a double, and I made some pecan bars and some fudge, and I was done. So I'm, I know that you are butt kicked, if nothing else. I'm coming, Karen. You just get ready. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Kathy. So the card I made, this is what I gave you the sneak peek of this morning, and it uses actually 3 stamp sets. On the front, you can see pretty obviously I used the Buffalo Check background stamp set. And then this is the Ride With Me set, which is in the annual catalog. I did not use the dies, just the stamp. And then on the inside, you're going to see I used One Perfect Sentiment from the Itty Bitty Christmas, which is in the 2019 annual catalog. So I so far I've made a trip to my pantry. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, so this is my card. It's sort of a modified-ish triple time, and I'm going to show you a technique to help you do triple time a little easier, and it uses the magnificent Stampopotamus. All right, so let me show you how to do that. All of these card cuts are going to be on my blog tomorrow, so you don't need to worry. We do have a black card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. So it is a portrait tent fold. Now my card the sample is all in Poppy Parade, but I'm out of this ribbon right here. So I have switched over to a black, white, and real red color scheme so that we can continue on with our card. And I've got a whole bunch of pieces of Whisper White and a whole bunch of pieces of real red and an envelope, which we don't need right now. So I'm going to put the real red aside. Now, the way a typical triple time will work out is you take a card front size piece of cardstock, and then you have a smaller piece that you layer on top. Hi, Eunice. David Walsh. Hello, my friend. How are you tonight? So this is what a triple time would normally, this is kind of a basic triple time. Big cardstock, medium cardstock, middle cardstock. And with many of the stamp sets you'd see flowers and you'd stamp all over and then you'd put a mat between them. And so I sort of did a modified one of those. Let me show you how I used my Stamparatus. This is the Deluxe Foam Mat. So it's got the slick top on it. And what I did, one of the issues with background stamps is that the edges don't stamp. So if you put your cardstock right up against the top of the Stamparatus, you can see that even if you push this clear up to the top, you're going to have a big gap there. So for this card, what I did is I moved my cardstock down. And if y'all are making comments, I'm not seeing them right now because I'm busy looking at my Stamparatus. Okay. Hey, Jean. And then I looked, of course. Hi, Fran. Hey, Jean and Janet and Bill. Appreciate you joining. All right, so what I did is I found a spot for my card front to be, and I've marked it. Can you see the little red dots here? Let me show you. See the little red dots? There's a red dot, and there's a red dot. So that's showing the four corners, not of the apocalypse, but the four corners of my card base. And then the next one that I'm going to stamp with the background stamp is the middle piece. So essentially what I did is I eyeballed where the middle was, and I kind of pulled the top out, or that bottom piece out, and then I made 4 little marks there. Okay? And there will be method to my madness in just a second. Now the other part that helped me do this was this little bit, it's a glue dot runner thingy, and it's got little dots that are repositionable. And so what I did is I put a little bit right on my, well, that didn't do it at all. Hang on a sec. There, well, for goodness sake, there it is. I put a little bit right on my foam mat so that I can hold my piece of cardstock in place, okay? Because the other piece that's a little bit difficult with background stamps is there's really nowhere to put your magnet, especially if you want the background on the whole card base, right? You can't put your magnet there, so you need something to hold down, and this works really well. And the nice thing about this is it just rubs off when you're done. All right? Okie doke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my Buffalo Check stamp with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm just going to get a whole bunch of ink on it to start with. And of course, the nice thing about it is with the Stamparatus, you can go back. So I'm going to bring this down and give it a stamp. Like that. And it did pick up my paper, so that's fine. I'm just going to pull it off of here. And that, even though it's got kind of an uneven stamp, that's really good enough because my middle piece is going to go right in the center. Okay? So I'm just going to pick that up and set it aside. I'm going to wipe off my foam mat just because I can make a mess if I work my hardest not to. So I'm going to try to be tidy. I'm going to try to be tidy. Hey, Donna. Appreciate you coming on. All right, so now, remember I put my little dots here for my middle piece. I'm going to give myself a little more adhesive there. And I'm going to put my middle piece, the medium-sized piece of cardstock right there, and kind of give it a little press, and then repeat. By putting that right there and stamping it again without having repositioned the background stamp, it is going to make our design line up perfectly. Perfectly, I say. Perfectly. All right. Okay, so there is our middle piece. And I'm going to pick that up. And then all you got to do is just kind of rub that adhesive and it comes right off. And you're ready to go. And then I have black all over my fingers, so I am guaranteed to make a mess here any second now. Give me just a half a second. Have y'all started making a pool about how quick it'll be, how long it'll take for me to make a smudge on something? Because it doesn't take me but a half a second, does it? Really. Hey, Kay. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Robin. All righty, here we go. So let's set this aside. And let's put a lid on Tuxedo here for a second. And let me show you how this is working. So there is still an up and a down, but you will notice that this lines up perfectly. Right? It kind of disappears. So then look what happens when we start matting it up. It gets real pretty real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and do some matting. Let's do some matting. Now, I have to ask, are you all ready for Christmas? Because do you know there's like 10 days left? When you wake up tomorrow, there will be 10 days left until Christmas. I'm just throwing that out there. And that is not very many days at all. I did a bunch of wrapping today. some mailing. I still have some things coming that have to be wrapped so that I can send them out, but I will get it. I will get it. I did not do the 7.2 billion pounds of baking that my friend Karen did, but I did do some cooking this year. I got all of my trays delivered yesterday. Each year I take a tray of cookies and baked goods to the local fire department. And I think it's kind of like taking coals to Newcastle, because they just look at me and they're so polite and they're just so grateful and happy to see me. And I'm like, you guys have 7.2 billion dozen cookies and stuff that people have brought you. And they're like, oh, we get some sweets, but it's so nice. We really appreciate it. So, you know. And now I'm putting Stampin' Dimensionals on. You knew I would. And I'm going to use a bunch. You know I do. Because I like to pop each of these layers up onto each other, because that's more fun. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. I don't think you're done delivering yet. Well, yours has to mail because you don't live here, kid. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming in the mail. All right. Now, I will tell you that even though these look like they're the same, you do have to be sure you've got right side up. Just like a real triple time, you can Bork lining it back up.